All right, welcome back to the DMG's YouTube channel. Today we're going to be going over our top 5 QB prospects for this upcoming draft. We got a list here for you, prepared and everything. I'm going to hand it over to Dylan here to start it all off with our list here.
Yeah, first of all, like, subscribe, do
Yes,
all
sir.
that good stuff there. If you like this kind of content, we want to do a lot of off-season material for you guys.
There
Sorry,
you go, buddy.
stumbling on my words again.
We'll
But
be
yeah, so getting into this, we kind of put together a list of what our top five quarterbacks are. It's not the best year for quarterbacks, but we'll make good with what we got here.
Mm-hmm.
we do
So,
plan on doing this with every position group though.
Yep.
Like our
yep,
our top whatever.
we'll do top 10 for most other positions too.
Yeah.
So quarterback position is hard to go further than five. But
Yeah.
with that being said, our first quarterback, do you want to bring that boy
Yes,
up?
sir.
All right. Well, so Sam Howell, I think, is our top quarterback mainly because he's consistent. He has been the guy for 3 years. He has a good arm. He gets it there. This last year was a little bit of a struggle bus. You can blame it on a whole lot of different things. Honestly, he wouldn't be top five with last year's picks, I think. But with what we got this year, I think he's a guy you can put the ball in his hands day one. He can start and he can be a lot better than a lot of the quarterbacks that are backups right now in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree. He looked really good his freshman and sophomore year throwing the football. And like you said, he kind of took a step back this his third year, but he did prove with this year that he is like a legitimate runner. He broke 63 tackles and he ran for 1,072 yards.
Wow.
So I mean it's kind of useful. I mean he won't be as prominent right in the NFL, but your quarterback has that ability. That's a good thing to
Mm-hmm.
have.
Yeah,
So it's always nice to have a guy that can kind of extend the play with his legs and keep his eyes down the field, find that open guy. So
Completely.
hopefully he can learn that trait a little bit more in the NFL. Watching his tape, he kind of just goes straight to tucking the ball and running. If like the pocket collapses, he'll just tuck the ball and he'll run. So hopefully he can kind of learn to roll out with that ability that he has of being able to use his legs. So I'd
yeah,
like to see that from him.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Our
Off
next
topic.
quarterback. Oh yeah,
That powder blue jersey is just so sick. I can't.
Yeah,
I'm not.
no,
That
yeah.
those
just
are
looks
nice
so good.
jerseys.
All
They're
right.
the helmets where they have like the plaid on them and everything, or
Yeah.
the that pattern, super nice.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, next pick here is Kenny Pickett. He's got quite a bit of a rise this year.
Yeah.
Mark Whipple has a lot of responsibility in doing that. But we call him Kenny Two Gloves because he wears two gloves. And just came out recently that he is in the 1 percentile of all quarterbacks in hand size, which potentially become an issue in the NFL. I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world, but that's the reason why he wears gloves. And it is a little bit of a concern when you have just small hands at the quarterback position. Like, all jokes aside, it is a concern.
Mm-hmm.
But he looks accurate. He looks confident. He's got good run ability, and he looks like he has a lot of development ahead of him too.
Yeah, I like Kenny Pickett a lot.
I think he was Mikey's number
I
one.
think he's my number one. I think he has more of a pocket presence out of all these guys, and I like the way when he if Sam Howell can learn this, he'd probably honestly be my number one. But Kenny Pickett has a good ability of keeping his eyes down the field when he does roll out, and he knows when to throw it away. He doesn't try to play the hero ball, doesn't try to do too much with it. If he can't extend the play, he's gonna throw it away so he doesn't take the loss. He cuts his losses right then and there, and he's moving on to the next play. So I like that about him. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Justin Herbert in a sense. Maybe it's just that little flow coming out the back there, but I don't know. I like Kenny Pickett. I think he's not bad for this class. I think.
I've got nothing
Yeah,
positive to say, so I'll move on.
and he wears two gloves.
Yeah. So this next one, I've been having him as my QB one on and off lately, but what I really like about him is his arm talent, especially short to mid range. He can learn throw deeper. He can improve his accuracy there. But I think with Lane Kiffin's offense, he was really controlled with what he can do first read, and then after that, he wasn't really, coached up a whole lot. He looks unprepared after his first read, so that's something that he definitely can work on. In a normal year, he's not necessarily our first round quarterback, but I honestly think that being able to throw the ball quickly like he does and with the arm angles that he does is an asset that you can use in the NFL early on. And if he can develop even further, then he gets his second contract.
I think apart from Sam and Kenny, I think all of them should be like second round and below picks.
Mm-hmm.
Period. And I think Sam and Kenny are like
On the cusp.
25th
Yeah.
to 32nd. But they'll be picked, in the top 15 because quarterbacks are important. Matt looks like he's a second round pick. And he just looks and
That's
plays.
fair.
Mm-hmm.
I do think out of almost all the quarterbacks I've seen in the last 4 or 5 years, he has the quickest release, which is something that you have to take into account because it saves a lot of sacks and it saves a lot of issues later on down in the NFL.
My only thing with him and his throwing is he's got a weak arm when it
Yeah.
goes like deep balls,
Mhm.
and that's just not. You really can't have that in the NFL. So,
No.
moving on then, I guess the
Yep.
fourth.
Yeah, Desmond Ritter. I think along with Sam Howell, he's probably the most experienced quarterback in his position, and he wins football games at least. I mean, he's been on a winning team with Cincinnati. They lost one game in the last 2 years. Is that right?
Say it one more time.
Desmond Ritter's only lost one game in the last 2 years, right?
I think that's right.
To
1 or 2, yeah.
I
think
think
they
it's
lost
one.
their. Yeah, maybe just
They went
one.
undefeated the year before, but they didn't get into the college
That's
football
right.
playoffs.
Well,
Yeah.
did they lose their bowl game though?
Maybe, but either way. Anyways, he's been successful. I think a lot of it is due to scheme. There's a lot of concerns with his accuracy. It's very
Yeah.
inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot to like though. It's just I think his accuracy is probably one of the more inconsistent ones. That's keeping him from being top three.
But he's
So
got everything you want in like you're making a
size,
quarterback. Yeah, he's
Mm-hmm.
like that. This is how I would make my quarterback.
yeah. Well,
And
and
a lot of NFL teams
accuracy.
get caught up in that, which is why I think he's up here. But his accuracy, it just doesn't make sense sometimes because he can hit the throws and then randomly he'll throw it on the same route and throw it like 5 yards behind the guy. And you're just why?
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
And it could be like there's I forget his name. There's this quarterback that does a film room YouTube channel. He explains things really well, better than I can explain them. But he shows a lot of why like footwork and mechanics are off and stuff like that. I think that Ritter just has bad mechanics because that's the explanation for inconsistency and accuracy and everything like that. I think if he can nail in his mechanics, he might become one of the better quarterbacks in this round, like in this draft. So we'll see, but
Mm-hmm.
we have him at 4 right now because of that. It's just hard to trust that in the NFL.
Yeah. And then there we go.
Malik Willis, yeah. So this is one guy that everyone fell in love with last year, and then he played a lot better competition this year and just looked um, lost. Yeah, he's just very. He's got great run ability. He's got a rocket arm. He's got everything that you would say tools wise can make him a great quarterback. But his development is going to work on a lot of like understanding the defenses that he's playing with, understanding protection, and calming his urge to run and scramble and try to make the big play. He's got the tools to be the best quarterback in this draft, but he has not shown anything to make you confident in that yet.
Yeah, he's way more inconsistent than Desmond Ritter.
Yes.
But he also has the best
Highlights.
physical ability out of
Yeah.
the draft. So a lot
I
of
was
people have fallen
surprised.
in love with him.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I was surprised that he's listed at 6'1". I thought he plays and looks a lot bigger on the
Yeah, he
field.
does.
But I think that if he lands in the right spot, like with all these quarterbacks, you could say that obviously. But if he lands in the right spot, someone was saying, taking the Trey Lance role of playing goal line quarterback for a team, he could potentially make a lot of magic happen close to the goal line, and then just give him time to, be able to be confident with what he sees on the defense to not have to scramble, over and over again like a kid playing with Michael Vick and Madden. It's just kind of what happens a lot of times with him when he's in the pocket.
And in fairness, I mean, Lamar Jackson was not like a great prospect coming out of college, right? I mean, you had the crap where people were trying to make him be a receiver. But, like if he went to the Browns number 1 overall, everyone would be making fun of Lamar and he would be out of the league at this point in time, right? Like he would not have grown and developed. But because he went to a good organization and the Ravens at the time, who have a very good coaching staff, they do very well with their rookies. He was able to grow and develop, and they really helped him by making him the focal of the offense. They changed everything else to fit the way that he plays.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, like Malik Willis, he could do good if he goes to the right situation. If you're, Washington or Carolina or Denver, where you're one of these QB needy teams that are, changing so much all the time, I wouldn't trust picking him and hoping that he turns it around.
Yeah, he's not the kind of guy that you give him the keys to the car day one. But I think he has a lot of potential, honestly. Like he has the skills that you need. But we don't have these listed here, but I did wanted to throw some honorable mentions. They might get a lot more buzz near their draft time because of different, combines, pro days, bowls, and stuff like that. But Bailey Zapp broke a ton of records. He does play in a air raid offense where all they do is pass and all they do is get 4 seconds in the pocket and throw all the time. But he's accurate. He's got a great arm. He's got a lot of ability. He'll get a lot of mention shortly. And then the other one I wanted to throw out there too was
Carson
Strong. Yeah, he's got the biggest arm in the draft right now, as we know. He's just a statue in the pocket and has a questionable knee injury. That is something that you have to take a hard look at.
I mean, he is like the original quarterback in the NFL, 6'4", 220, 215. He did have, at the end of this year, I watched a lot of Mountain West because my team's Boise State, so I do pay attention. And Nevada had an up and down year this year, but not really his fault. At the end of the year, though, he had 6 games in a row where he had to throw it over 50 times.
Wow.
And he still finished with a 90.3 passer grade according to PFF. So,
oh wow,
it'll see towards combine time.
Oh yeah,
how these guys do.
Yeah, but that's our top 5.
Yeah, should be good. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Yep.
Yeah,
we'll hit you guys with another video soon.
Yeah, and if you feel like we're completely off base here, make sure to let us know in the comments.
Oh yeah, we love comments.
Give us your top 5.
Yeah, give us your top 5.
Yeah, let's see what your top 5 is. I'm curious.